When you build buildings like I build buildings, believe me, walls are easy.
The border wall. It's a campaign promise that helped guide candidate Trump into the Oval Office and a policy goal that's dominated his time in the White House thus far.
If I build this wall or fence or anything the Democrats need to call it, because I'm not into names, I'm into production. I'm into something that works.
But there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding a pretty permanent piece of infrastructure. Trump has changed his mind on what materials would be used to build the wall.
Concrete plank.
Of rebar and steel.
So you have a concrete wall, see-through capability on the other side, and then solid concrete on top.
And he's inflated his funding demands.
That we want $5.6 billion, very strongly, because numbers are thrown around, 1.6, 2.1, 2.5.
Members of Trump's inner circle and the wider Republican Party have also shifted their rhetoric surrounding the wall.
The fence doesn't solve the problem. Is it necessary to have one? Sure. Would it help? Sure. But to just say build the darn fence and have that be the end of an immigration discussion is absurd and almost childish for someone running for president to take that simplistic a view. And by the way, the bottom line is the fence doesn't stop anybody who really wants to get across. You go under, you go around, you go through, and that's what the ranchers tell us is that they don't need a fence.
But there are places where there is no substitute for a barrier. The barriers we have up now in the high traffic areas are over 90% effective. So where we have built a barrier along the southern border, it's reduced criminal immigration by more than 90%.
This president wants to put up a wall, and you and others want to put up a slip and slide. Just let everybody in. He's in the White House. He's in Washington, ready to negotiate. This is important in border security and keeping the government open. But if you keep saying wall, wall, wall because you want wall to be a four-letter word, and we're not being honest about everything CPP has asked with respect to border security.
Kellyanne, the president is the one who explicitly said in the Oval Office, it's the wall, and it's the reason why.
And he said in a tweet yesterday, you can't cherry pick his tweets.
Do you mean a big, beautiful concrete wall running the entire length of the border, or has the president backed down from that and is willing to talk about all kinds of other measures?
I detect your usual sarcasm in there, Terry, but I will just say, if you read his tweets even this week, if you listened to him yesterday, he clarified that. He said that you can call it whatever you want. In other words, we need border security. It may include a wall. It may include steel slats. He tweeted this out. He talked about this.
It's his words, big, beautiful wall. Those are his
Terry,
words.
he wants border security.
Dishonest, which is Hillary Clinton in the eyes of the American people, beats crazy. I think Donald Trump's domestic and foreign policy is gibberish.
The wall has become a metaphor for border security. And what we're talking about is a physical barrier where it makes sense.
Walls work. Trump said, let's make a deal. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer said, go to hell. We'll see what happens.
There are places along the border, and I would offer to you down in the southern Rio Grande Valley, where a concrete wall, makes all the sense in the world for a couple of reasons. Once we briefed him when I was at DHS and told him that the real experts on defending the southwest border, the Customs and Border Protection men and women came in, did a survey of the border. There are places where hydrographically, geographically, a wall would not be realistic.
To be honest, it's not a wall. The president still says wall. Oftentimes, frankly, he'll say barrier or fencing. Now he's tended towards steel slats.
To us, it's all new wall. If there was a wall before that needs to be replaced, it's being replaced by a new wall. So this is the Trump border wall. In many cases, it will.
Wall would count as new wall in your words.
Yes, it would.
Let me be clear. Walls work. That's not my opinion. It's not a tagline. It's not a political statement. It's a fact.
I know securing the border is going to take a lot more than just building a wall.
Building that border security is the most powerful message that we can send.